Survivor. That's how I feel. This week, through a piranha-infested thing of Red Bull. And at the end, if you win, the winner gets Taco Bell for the week.
Heyo.
Don't get me excited.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. And that's a familiar voice you probably have missed just as much as we have. We got Miss Noah back in the building with Mr. Fresh. Mr. Fresh, how did we get here? How did we get? I remember when we. I remember when. Come on now. Shit. No. Like when we started the show, it was like I'm gonna be mysterious. I'm gonna be off. Now he's like all up in your face.
Yeah.
Listen, man,
Which I mean, I'm all
life is too short. You know.
Fair.
I enjoy I genuinely missed the show when I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's no longer Wizard Kelly.
No,
He's just Mr. Fresh.
He's just Mr. Fresh, as if that's a lesser sentence or something.
And I got like my 5 people in the chat that love me too. So you know, I'm here for them. Just them 5.
Yes. Are we live on TikTok as well?
Not yet.
Okay, let me know so I can say hi to them too. But welcome back. Hello,
everybody.
I missed y'all. And look, I'm adulting. I got new glasses too.
Yay!
I can see.
Even though 5 minutes ago she goes, "What does that say?"
That's huge.
He said, how many fingers I got up? I said 5. It was 3, y'all. You know, but I missed you guys.
It's progress.
We missed the hell out of you. We were like, what the hell do we do? You know, like we got all these people asking
Spirit
us.
knew I needed
We
that
are
break.
live on TikTok on Calls From Beyond. We got Franny and Ready for Whatever over there.
Hey,
What up,
y'all,
Fran?
They said, "Welcome back, Noah and Fresh."
I've already told Fran, man, he got to come on the show.
He's back tonight again. I was just on the phone with him today.
You know what?
I've been watching his videos. He's such a talented musician and artist. And
He's in
I love
the.
Fran.
So I guess I'll make the announcement here. I made it on the members only show, which you should go watch. But
Yes.
I officially came out of music retirement
Yay.
this week. So I am starting a project with Mr. Jay Wasley, but also who's also going to be in that project is Franny.
Whoa.
I seen
Now here's the thing.
I seen Franny's name on the
Christmas album?
You know, on
Hey, we're dropping the heavy
Christmas
though.
Y'all need to let me rap on that. I'm gonna be like traffic.
We're dropping the
traffic.
deathcore now.
Looking for my chapstick.
Looking
for my chapstick.
Come on now.
Hey, let me get a feature.
Check out this fast twitch.
I ain't gonna lie. Noah got one rap that was wrote for her back in the day.
By who?
She got like
Who wrote it?
My brother is
Oh,
a
okay,
musician.
okay,
He's
okay.
a rapper.
He's a rapper, so
Yeah.
it's like a cool 8.
Man, listen.
She might not got a whole verse, but it's like a cool 8.
No, it was a whole song. I forgot it. I was a freshman in college, and I came home for break, and all we used to do was play blackjack and rap.
Hey, yo.
That's it.
That's sick.
But yeah, I'm so happy for you, Fran.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels weird. Like, so I went and I have guitars, but I went and got like an because like, you know, you have regular guitars that are, you know, they have 6 strings on them, but we're playing like heavier metal. And so I had to go get a 7 string, and I'm like sitting there holding it. And I'm like, wow, it's been a minute. I told Vanessa, I was like, it fits like a glove, the OJ glove, but would it be there? So I got to get back into it. But
If it doesn't fit,
Listen,
You must have quit.
you must have quit. Hey,
but you
We're
will
live
not
on-
quit though.
but I
You
do
won't
have the
quit.
Bronco.
You do.
You do have the Bronco.
I do got the
I
Bronco.
tried to convince him to put juice on the back of his run.
Hey, listen.
The missus was not having it.
And
We-
she
both
was
of us
not. She was
almost
like,
got cussed
now,
out.
now.
We're live on your TikTok, Miss Noah.
Yes, I'm looking right now.
Hi, TikTok. Thank you so much. So we got to be careful what we say, of course, because the TikTok is a little bit different than YouTube. Hello, everyone. If you are watching from TikTok, please head over to YT, and I can't say that on there either, y'all. It is
play button.
so, you know,
Come
that-
to the red app.
the red
come
app
to the play
with
button
the
app.
triangle going to the right. Come over and subscribe. We do this every Tuesday where you viewers call in and tell us creepy cryptid stories, sleep paralysis, aliens on my porch type of stories, reincarnation
On my
stories.
porch type of
You remember?
stories.
Yeah.
Yep.
So welcome in, y'all.
And if you're not, if you're part of that 350,000 that's on
Yes.
TikTok
But ain't
that have not
But you ain't
came
over. What we doing?
and
Yes.
joined us on the play button,
yes.
what are you doing?
Yes, please.
Did you say tree fitty?
Treat. I think they're
350, little light 350K.
Little light.
It's between 347.
That's
I
350.
don't
Listen,
know.
I'm from the
350.
hood. We round up.
I love it. I love it.
Give it an
We
extra-
round up.
We could give it an extra 2K.
Yes. So, what have you been up to? I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been up to. But
Yeah, I just work. I drove out to California again on Sunday. Wrapped that up.
Did you do it back to back? Because it
I
looked
did.
like you were there like 2 days later. I was like,
Well, I was there last weekend. I get there, and the problem is it's it's smaller than this. It's like a studio, and I'm looking at it. It was the crime scene cleaner that I had on Bizarre. So he has his own studio. He has his own show, which does great. I was looking at his analytics. He has an episode of 55,000 audio downloads.
Oh,
crazy.
I was like, damn. And poor guy. The last studio he was at didn't upload like the last 8 episodes that he did to Spotify. So I posted all of them for him. I'm like, dude, you might hit monetization on Spotify like real quick.
That was one of my favorite episodes that you.
Well,
did
he
with
wants
the
me to
crime
go
scene.
back out there and do an episode with him. Sometime it'll be like a trade. Like he'll do an episode for Truly Bizarre Calls from Beyond, and then I'll do an episode for Dying to See Me. But so I went over there last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and we're looking at the room, and he's like, I don't have enough plugs, and like it's Lancaster, so it's like older California,
Right.
And he was like, I'm gonna get an electrician in because I'm not gonna do like extension cables and stuff. And I was like, dude, I just drove 3.5 hours here, so I drove home. And then I went back this last Sunday, and I brought Trey with me. Shout out young Trey from Sticky Paws. And we knocked it out in about 4 hours, and I came back home, and I passed out.
Yeah.
But we got the studio at least done on the technical aspect. He still has to do like some cable running
stuff. Yeah.
but it works, so I did that. I've been editing videos for client. I can't say yet. I've told you guys, but I have an NDA with them where it was like you can't discuss it until it's out. Nothing too crazy. George knows too, but so I've been doing that. But we're focusing on at least for December, Truly Bizarre Calls from Beyond content. That's what I'm gonna, because it's gonna be a slow month for us.
Yes.
And so with that, if you haven't, especially our episode, like
I was just about to say that's
Yeah.
one thing
Did
you
y'all
haven't
watch
mentioned
my
yet.
ghost? When I went to the Pioneer, did y'all watch that? And if you have not, go and watch it now.
did you see
Watch
the
it.
part where I zoom in and like on the REM pod and you see it like flickering as if something's moving in front of it?
Yeah,
I sent that to
place is
Brian.
haunted as hell.
I sent it to Brian, and Brian goes, "Damn, they really were trying." And even in the
Yeah, we
episode
didn't
that
even realize it whenever
Yeah.
we were in the midst of. We caught it like the very, very end. I think.
Yeah, and then the episode that's coming out this week, I'm so mad. So something didn't want that footage getting out there because Brian is holding the camera and he's sitting at the booth that was behind where you were sitting, or he's like leaning up against it because everybody's this way. He's sitting there and you hear like creaking like in the booth, like literally. And he thought somebody from the group, because there was 12 of us. He thought it surprisingly best group of the entire, like we're quiet, and we had a guy who was from Paris and the spirit box was talking to him in French.
Wow, that's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
having a full blown conversation. I
had a
got
good
that.
time.
But so Brian's sitting there filming, and behind him you hear like creaking and you hear like shuffling as if something's moving on the table. I have never seen Brian get scared,
No,
and he got
because
scared.
That's crazy.
But
That's insane.
th-
actually.
but
Think,
that-
how did the spirit know that
he smelled.
he was
He
French?
smelled
Well,
the
he did
France
say
on him.
he did
smelled
say
like French fries.
We said, "Do you want
French
to?"
fries are not French.
Well, so he like it was speaking in Spanish like it did for us.
Yeah.
And then it says a word, and he goes, "I think that was France." And we were like, "Do you want to? You can say stuff to it." And all of a sudden he's going back and forth with it.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
so I don't have that on camera. Like
It
that
wasn't,
one
yeah.
chunk was corrupted, but everything afterwards. But I do have, you hear like giggling and whispering in like the back hallway, and there's nobody
well, no,
else.
whenever we went,
Oh yeah, it was,
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
super loud. They were super loud.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell y'all now. I'm a spooky girl. I like spooky shit, right? So whenever we went, I went into, there's 2 rooms. There's a bar where it's 21 and over, and then there's a restaurant portion where everybody can sit. And it was just us. They were like letting out the bar so we could do the ghost hunt. And I went into the restaurant part, and I literally froze and said, "What in the hell
Yeah.
is in this room?"
that room is heavy.
And it almost felt like a kid. It wasn't even like it felt like one of my kids was about to pop out at me like boo, you know, but you could feel it. It's cold as hell in that room. And I had a good time. I want to go again. I would go again.
Yeah, I mean, we're planning. We had a group reach out to us. So I think next month we're going to do another one, and then a special guest, which I can't say on the show, but a special guest that you know,
I'm trying to
Mr.
think.
Somebody.
Oh,
Mr. Somebody. I had just talked about him, wants to do a special
you know
event
what?
there.
I think I want to go to that one.
Oh, well, that one, no, because it would be so the whole thing is like, we're thinking of like doing the ghost hunt with this person, but then also doing like an event, almost like a ghost con kind of thing there. But I was like, oh, we have to do like a panel. So like, I already got the 4. It's you, Brian, myself, and this person.
Yeah.
That's the, but then people could come out and
Y'all will want to come out.
you guys would definitely want to come to that.
Trust me.
I feel like you should record driving up that damn road because listen,
We did.
That was
I just deleted
that was
the-
equally as scary.
Have
as
you
the
not
ghost
seen
hunt.
the beginning of each video? That's footage of me
I
going up the
know.
road.
Okay.
It's like
Listen.
how many people died out here? And
All
I'm
I
like,
seen
how
was
did you
crosses and
have-
candles. I said, damn.
Wait a minute. It was so many makeshift like memorials out there on the way to the saloon. And then when we got there, I'm like, this is the creepiest shit I've ever witnessed like in person. And then whenever we went in, the first thing Austin is saying is like, oh, there goes the hole, the bullet holes.
Yeah, I was showing you
I
guys.
was
There's the
like-
bullet
It's,
holes.
just, it's crazy.
Oh,
It
that's
literally
nice.
goes outside
all the
still.
way through.
Yeah.
Yes. Like they never
Like I was
did
looking
anything
at
to
outside
it.
like, oh.
Because I remember George, when we were first there, like we were taking it in for the first time, and George was like, God damn. Dude.
This is
Yeah,
George,
no, they're
George
like-
said they shot an elephant in this motherfucker.
Yeah,
No,
no,
seriously.
for real.
Like,
Like that was a big hole.
Yeah,
like,
it was probably a 357.
and then I was like, okay, I gotta use the restroom. And the first time I went in the restroom, I was like, yeah, I'm not coming in here no more by myself.
No,
Well,
seriously.
you saw the episode where, and I think we showed the clip where the girl was like, I'm going to use the bathroom with the door open. And then the
Yes.
spirit box is like, close
Close
the door.
Like, come
Bro,
on now. So whenever I went to the bathroom, I was just like, okay. And I felt like I was being watched. And I was like, you're not paranoid. Maybe, you know,
No,
there's
you were
something
definitely
here.
being watched.
And then whenever I went into the mirror, it felt like something was like standing right next to me to the point where I took a picture in the mirror, which is
No,
kinda
no.
bad luck,
No,
right?
no. Why would you do that?
And so then I
'cause you
showed
want-
it to Austin. I'm like, do you see something here? He's like, no, I don't see anything. I'm like, well, I definitely felt something in that bathroom.
Yeah.
And then I
Which
found out what it was a woman that was in there doing hot girl shit with everybody and their daddy, and then
Got
Unalived and
Got unalived.
dragged
But
back.
so when Brian and I, and this sounds so weird out of context, but so when we were doing our investigation, Brian and I went in there. No lights.
no, it's haunted as hell. in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No DIDDY stuff.
Right.
But we were in there, and it was like the calmest room out of the entire saloon.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And then we were like, we started hearing footsteps in the men's bathroom. We go in there, and Brian's in the very back, and he's looking at me. He's looking at the door because that's where I'm at with the camera. And he goes, it's discernibly darker to my left now. And then all of a sudden, I hear like very clear footsteps in the back, and like back in the bar. And that takes us out of the bathroom. But
But somebody unalived themselves behind the bar, didn't they?
yes, and that's who we think Mr. Butterfield is,
I
which
mean,
is the entity that which you
Bully.
guys should go watch the episode, which I
Please.
just linked it. I linked it in your chat, and I linked it in Calls from Beyond. But that's every time we would start getting like responses, and then it would say violent entered, and then it would just stop.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so we think that was Mr. Butterfield coming in and being like, y'all, no, we're not going to be talking
He
to these people.
controls all of the other ghosts. He's like, he think he the daddy. He not the daddy.
Somebody tried to get us to go in the basement.
Whenever we were,
Yeah.
remember whenever it was like
It was
cellar?
like cellar.
Oh,
cellar,
so I
and
went.
then
Okay, I went into the cellar. It's like a back room. It's like
Well, somebody wants to talk about
Nope.
that cellar.
because I went in there.
I
went
wasn't
in-
going to go when you told me to go.
Well, I went in there and I was like, wait, this is the. I thought it was like a dark, damp. No, it's like you could see inside from the outside.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like
It was like one of them like shack type situations.
you know,
from
like
back in the day.
like the East Coast has this a lot. They have like the sunroom
Bless you.
where it's just like screen. That's what it feels like in there.
Okay.
Okay.
It didn't feel
Okay.
weird, but I was like, that's what we're talking about. But
Yeah. So, and we're just, for those who are confused, we are just catching up on the last couple of weeks until we get a call. So,
yes. So I know we have a lot of new people. So if this is your first time watching Calls from Beyond, this is a live call-in show where you get to tell us your creepy stories. I was hoping to get some alien stories last week with the aliens in the
my
ocean, but we didn't
God.
get any.
we missed out on so much like potential
Yeah.
conversation topics early. But go ahead.
So it is completely free to call in. You can do so with the number right down here.
Down there.
Right down here. Yep, right down here. And I was looking at the screen to make sure I'm pointing at the right spot. It is completely free to call in, but sometimes we do get very backed up with a lot of callers. And so if you would like to skip the line, you can do so by super chatting on YT.
I hate that.
$10, or you could do it on Cash App at $CallsFromBeyond. You have to include the last four of your phone number, and that'll skip the line for you, and we'll get straight to your call.
Or if you just think that we're dope and you just
want to support. I mean, we will never
support the channel.
take your support for granted. We really
right.
appreciate you guys.
And TikTok, I do this every Tuesday. I've been telling y'all, and this is like a
Yeah, they're
year
like, is this new?
in the
Like, no.
Right? No, I be telling y'all I have a podcast, a live one at that, and I don't
Done
know
this
if
for
y'all.
over a year at this point.
Well, I finally am able to hook my TikTok up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a problem. We got it, though.
We got it though. So, we didn't heard some of the craziest shit on this show. Like some of the craziest, scariest stories, dream stories. We welcome it all. And yeah, so how about the UAP and
Yeah, so, I mean, I was not surprised when
At
they
all.
said...
Spiritualist been telling y'all that they was in. You cannot call. Please do not try to join the chat or join the call or multi-guest on the TikTok live.
I
Please.
think I have blocked.
So
Because we're going to say no.
no, we can't do it. It will literally tear up the whole stream. But us spiritual folk been saying that because
Yeah.
if you remember last year, they were setting off bombs in the middle of the ocean where you couldn't see any land.
Well, they've been doing
anywhere.
that. They've been doing that since
it.
the 50s.
And I'm like, what is y'all trying to kill down there? Oh, is outer space underneath water? We've already knew this. We know about the water spirits and aliens and all that other stuff can be considered one of those things. I mean, I talk about mermaids for a living, for Christ's sake. I mean, what are we really talking about? So are y'all ready to say sorry?
Was that
Wait, for what?
that we didn't acknowledge that you've been on this?
Hello?
Wait, no, I've never doubted you. I never said...
No. I'm talking about YouTube. A lot of people that run through my
YouTube.
Yeah, I thought
I
you
was
said
talking about YouTube. So basically,
damn, George, we fucked up, I guess.
No, because I've said the word on my personal line. I never get in trouble, but it doesn't. The reach doesn't. It don't do what it's supposed to do whenever you say.
Franny said they're trying to wake up Godzilla and save us.
Clearly, they're trying to get to another dimension.
Okay,
Cthulhu.
because that's the way to go. It's underwater. We are cultivated in water. When we're in utero, water is the most spiritual component in the world. That and fire. So I want them people that was calling me crazy, telling me I need to check myself in, saying nurse, whenever I was making water spirit mermaid videos. So I apologize because obviously I'm not that damn crazy. Because now look.
Keyword, that.
I never said I wasn't.
They're trying to kill something down there.
Yeah.
But,
They're trying to kill something.
yes,
down there
I've
for
been
sure.
on like the water is very powerful. Just like I need us to be for real about the submersible now. What us spiritual girlies been saying ever since that happened.
Oh yeah, that was that attack. I'm sorry.
I don't personally think it was an attack. I just think it was Stockton Rush being stupid and just having equipment that doesn't work.
How do you know that it wasn't? You got to think about it. Where we're looking at the situation, right? You got a submarine full of, I'm assuming,
At least millionaires.
But I'm assuming that they were more of the pillar complexion.
Oh yes.
Well, I mean, you had the Suleimans.
Yeah, I don't even. Okay, I'm gonna build off of that. You went in the middle of
Or the Dawood, excuse me. Suleiman was the
water
boy's name.
spirit season. You went out into the Caribbean Sea.
Well, was it? Because they went up. It was
I
up
could have
north.
swore we were in because whenever we
Because
were.
it's up in Canada.
Oh, I thought it was a Caribbean Sea.
No, because that's where the Titanic was. It was coming from England.
Okay, because when we were on a cruise when this was happening, and we had no idea. Like they were watching it in the casino, and they're like, "Oh, I think they're in the Caribbean Sea." But either way, water spirits don't discriminate. Them Caribbean waters, though, you got to be a little bit more careful. But you went in the bottom of the sea during water spirit season and thought what? Because even though Stockton Rush was being very arrogant and careless, he had done it before, hadn't he? Or not that deep?
Yeah. So there was one where he had done it before and he had hired. This is why I'm saying, like, this is why I think it was just him being stupid, is because he did a dive with a guy who was trained. He was like, they were doing like mock dives, and he goes, "You need to let me drive this because the current will drive you into the boat."
On the bottom, yeah.
And he was like, "No, I'm going to do it," and he got them stuck, and he was making it worse. and the diver was like, for the love of God, I need you to get the fuck out of the seat and let me drive, or we're all gonna die. And eventually he was like, fine, whatever, and threw like a tantrum, and he got him out, and that dude quit, or they fired him. Fired him. And so he goes down, and because the way that they did, and you hear it, you like I need to add that to my creepy videos, but you hear it. The Navy has audio of the crash happening, where it wasn't even really a crash. What probably happened was they probably like bumped something, and because it wasn't made out of like good materials, it just completely imploded, and you hear it. You hear it just.
Listen, I will forever and always believe that they fucked around and found out, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because isn't Stockton Rush a lineage member from one of the people that signed the Declaration of Independence who were for slavery still? And then, like I said, the summer months are very, very much so.
He's also a descendant of two signers of the Declaration of Independence, Benjamin Rush and Richard Stockton. Wait, that's crazy. That his
they named him for him.
Rush.
And I had made a video on it back then, and it's like, spiritual reparations have to be paid, and they want their money in cold hard cash and on time. And he made this big career out of being this genius billionaire, whatever, but he wasn't smart enough to understand that you need the proper captain for this. You don't know what you're doing, sir. And you went out to the waters and thought they was
and you
gonna
didn't
let
even have an
cha-cha
Xbox
slide.
controller. You had a
Right.
Logitech controller, bro. You didn't even have like the Elite controller. At least.
It makes you think like
Excuse me.
these people are billionaires.
They
Like,
just be
why
doing
wouldn't you?
shit.
Why wouldn't you invest in a better?
A Logitech?
Because when you make that much, I've seen it. George and I have seen. We know a person. I'm not going to name. We know a person who George and I have been screwed over by. When you become so successful in terms of like sales and making money, you think you can do everything.
Yeah. The ego
Which
is so big.
to an extent you can, but like, let's say like for example, my business has been doing good since July or June, whatever. But I'm not going to be like, okay, I could do surgery now.
Hello.
But that's like me being a billionaire and me taking a single stroke engine airplane up in the air. Like, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
Why am I
His
taking
life, Mr. Fresh, has become boring.
Right.
Yes.
And,
Yeah, that's the thing.
you
Is
know,
they need
it's-
that. They need
yes.
that rush.
It's
Stockton
exciting.
rush.
Let's go a couple million feet down with
Hey,
a
let's
rubber
go-
band
let's
around
go
the wing.
play.
With the boys,
Right.
we're just gonna,
Because
honey,
who's to
you're
say-
staying home.
Who's
I'm
to
gonna.
say it's just pressure that blew that up? Baby, I don't play with them water. I take my jewelry off before I get in the ocean. Do you think I'm going all the way down to the floor? I go up to my belly button and then I go back to shore. That's it. Like, it just is what it is. The human mind and the ego, especially when you start making the type of money and experiencing the things that he was, you just, you're bored. You're bored. You're doing shit for the plot twist.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
Yeah.
he did, because I think they found some more of the wreckage.
They did. They did
recently.
recover some. Yeah. Well, the problem is when you're, and this is why we know more about space than we do the ocean, is because space has no pressure. It's a vacuum. So you only have to make a craft, which we have airplanes, we have cars that can withstand the pressure of Earth. But to go into the ocean, like it becomes so magnetized, and it becomes like so much more profound in like how much pressure it is that you have to create something that we may not be able to. Like, yeah. And so that's the reason why, and that was one of the scary parts. Like, if they are that deep in the ocean and they are still alive, it's still going to be hard to get them to the surface in time.
But I was watching, like not too long ago, I was watching Godzilla versus Kong, right? I think like one of the newer ones or whatever, where I don't know if it was Godzilla or if it was Kong. One of them was like they were kept in the ocean,
yeah.
and they had to go through the ocean to get to like another realm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What you
So
think
it's
that
like
is? The ocean is a big ass portal, and they know that. They know it, and it's
they
just
be putting
it is
stuff
what
in
it is.
movies that really
It
be
be the
based
truth.
off of real stuff. You
It's
know what
the
I
truth.
mean? Like,
It's the truth.
They give us the little bits and pieces, little cookie crumbs that they want us to know, but at the end of the day, like
Because they want to normalize it.
yeah,
Well, yeah, they want to desensitize it, so then
Yeah.
50 years later, whenever they say, "Hey, you know that movie, where we was under the water and doing it's nothing because we've seen it on TV."
Yeah, Horton Hears a Who is about a psyop from the CIA. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, I was about to say for real. No, but in all seriousness, I think we have a call. Do we have a caller?
We do have
Yeah,
a
we do.
caller.
Okay.
Who is it, Mr. George?
Last four digits 0014. Star 6 to unmute yourself. 0014. Caller, you're in the room.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, just
Anybody
try
home?
one more time. Star 6. Tell me yourself. It showed you were unmuted. Yeah.
Anybody home?
No waveforms are coming through, so
Beam, 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 beam. No waveforms detected.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll just kind of.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you
There
are.
go.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back, Mr. Fresh. Welcome back, Noah. We
Thank
definitely
you.
missed you all,
Oh,
and
thank you.
thank you everybody for holding down the fort. It was great.
Thank you so much.
I have lots of stories, like I said, but I'm in North Carolina today. Normally, I live in Brooklyn, New York,
Okay.
and I put this on the chat. Yes, there's been a funeral home that's like in the little township that I passed. That was a funeral home, one of the generational funeral homes. Okay. Now, to put things into context, my grandbabies go to a charter school, but we have to pass cotton fields when we go to the charter school. So let's put that into context about seeing a funeral home in this part of North Carolina that is now converted into a church. Okay.
Crazy.
So I'm one of those. Hello. I consider myself. I have to re-tag myself now. Now I must say I'm a Christian plus because I've shared the story, and Noah, I promise we gonna get together and I'm gonna tell you like my whole history. But I'm biracial, and my mom taught us, my big brother and I, my little sisters, me and my brother and my sister were all 4.5 years apart. My brother and I gravitated to it, but my little sister was terrified, so my mom stopped teaching us. Okay. But I learned about astroplaning, metaphysics, reincarnation, and all of those wonderful things. So my mind was completely opened up to the universe way before I got reborn in Christ as a grown-up. So I am not your traditional Christian. But I'm like, I don't think I want to go to a church that was a funeral home because I'm a Christian that goes to a holiness church. I believe in holy. I do not condone religion. I'm very spiritual. But when I get spiritual with the Lord, I allow my spirit to go free, just like many other what religions or practices, whatever you want to call them, to fully immerse yourself. You have to allow your spirit. I can't open up my temple, which is this portal, to my spirit man. Okay, I don't think I want to open up my portal in this place, in this knowing what's going on around here, okay, in a funeral home. So I'm just kind of throwing that out. So hopefully callers for tonight, anybody that has had any kind of experiences in the South or in places around the country in America where we know that there could have been Underground Railroad or whatever. That's why I think New York City is such a portal, because of the Underground Railroad and what they did to us in Central Park. Let's not, and the fact that they also had the nerve in downtown Manhattan, they built churches over many of the African burial grounds.
Okay.
Native burial
grounds,
disrespectful. Like, people don't understand. I've never had a desire to go to New York City. I don't know because some of my ancestors, when they were stolen from Africa, and before everybody gets in the chat, because I understand not all of us came from Africa. I've been getting that comment so much. My folks came from Africa. They were stolen. They took them to the East Coast, Midwest, and I don't know. North Carolina. I've never had the desire to visit New York ever. And I don't know if it's because of, this little thing called epigenetics. Somebody was out there and they are disgusted and they just don't want to go, right? My reasoning was because I have this irrational fear of mice and rats. And I don't know who told me that they're there. I mean, I guess kind of like a thing, But
they're part of the culture.
Yes, but
they got leashes and stuff. You can bedazzle them.
My brother told me he was in Central Park and the sun was going down. They had a mouse or a rat the size of a cat. I said, "Oh yeah, y'all."
George, you saw some good ones, right, when you were there?
Yeah, in the subways.
Okay, see, no, I'm trying.
No, but you listen.
But I literally, I know what they did, and
yeah.
It just, oh my gosh! Between that and
I'm
Black Wall Street,
a native New Yorker. Okay, yeah, I'm a native New Yorker, and I can tell you plenty stories about New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's absolutely a portal, and I wish I would have went deeper.
And spiritually, there are some places that I will never go. There are some blocks that I will never go to. Rats don't really bother me too much. I just kick them if they in my way. They need to know who's in control.
I love that.
Honestly, it is so funny. I was coming out of the subway maybe 3 months ago, and a rat was running, like charging. See? And I just clapped my hands and I said, "Oh, get your behind back up over there. Who are you talking to?" Because I know who I am, but
y'all ain't never seen me fret, not in front of no ghost. I have squared up with low vibrational beings during sleep paralysis.
She squared up with me one time. I was about to take her Taco Bell, and she was like, "Here you go."
And George is next just for the plot twist. But if a rat come charging at me, oh baby,
I'm not going to the subway.
I just may faint. I may faint.
How you gonna get around?
That is so funny.
Taxi.
No, but see, if you have sight and stuff like that, then and you're from not a large city, you have to be very careful when you come to New York because of the things you may see. I mean, I've seen and, I have literally seen different types of low vibrational things and the D's. Yeah. And when I'm in my highest vibrational state and my aura is at its best, I've been followed and I've had to slay. And when you slay, you can, when you do something to something low vibrational, and this is another thing, I have so many questions for you and for, I have a lot of questions anyway, now that I'm reawakening that part of myself. But in my experience, if you slay a D, okay, you get a stench and a sense of and the smell of sulfur.
Yes.
Okay. So whether that sends them back or whether that just gets them out of the way, I think that actually slays them. Whereas because I'll give anything and everything a chance. I'll be like, look, I'm a general in the Army, and if I have to claim the blood on you, you're going to slay. So you need to move out my way, get out of the subway car, or I'm charging the ancestors and the angels on you. So I've had it done both ways. So like if for me as a Christian, when I claim the blood of Jesus, most will leave. But I found that the D's will challenge your faith, but my faith is strong, and I'm a New Yorker, so I'm gonna kick your D ass. Excuse me,
Listen,
and then
I can't because it's so funny that you said you smell sulfur whenever you feel like you've slayed. In my experience, I smelled sulfur whenever I knew that presence and that entity was there. It's like they fart, and that's what it smells like, and then something's going on.
I farted.
Right. Like literally, that's when I know there's a demonic presence. Is whenever I smell that, which I've only smelt it one time in my life, and let's just see, I don't live in that house no more because how the hell I have a demon or a portal down my toilet. It don't
I
make no
mean,
sense.
I got one of those.
Listen,
We're not talking about what you eat
not
Taco
what you
Bell.
eat Taco Bell. But that's what I thought at first. I'm like, okay, well maybe something's wrong with the pipings until every bit of 1,000 flies were underneath the toilet. The toilet connected to the garage, and it was like 1,000 flies, bro, underneath this toilet.
Mari just made the best comment. She said,
Wow.
D. Finkley versus D. Min.
Yeah, because I swear I thought something was just wrong
It's on
with
the
my
Logan.
pipes.
It's on the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson
I
fight
like
card.
that one.
Yes, I literally, it comes down to, and this is why I love my open Christians, because a lot of people that practice Christianity, them the ones that be telling me to go to hell, I'm a burn in hell, that I'm a demon, and but I like whenever.
But I feel like it's your,
Oh, they
it's your-
tell me
it's your
stop sharing so much. Stop talking. Stop
it's your
sharing
basis
so
as
much.
well, though, because you
Okay.
got to understand her basis was she came from a spiritual background
Yes,
and then became
convert.
religious.
Yes, yeah.
So she was already aware of being in a spiritual space.
Those are the best Christians, though. I'm not gonna lie. My favorite, and yes, I'm gonna say I have favorite Christians. My favorite Christians that that I love dearly are the ones whose egos aren't so big to not realize that there are things in this world that we cannot explain with a Bible, and that we are spiritual beings just living a human experience. Those are my favorites. Y'all are amongst God's most blessed because y'all give us grace. We give y'all grace. We mind our business. Sometimes we merge our spiritual practices and we keep it moving. No harm, no foul.
But here's the thing. Like when I go into something, I go all in. Okay. Like when I got saved and everything, like I've got my master's and my bachelor's in theology. Okay. All right. But here's the thing. I love the Lord, and His people are His people. Okay, I don't love all His people because some of His people stink, and some of the most stank people I've ever met in this world are so-called Christians. But they are what I consider to be brainwashed Christians, in that they're lazy and they just go by tradition. Okay, but they don't take the time to do the knowledge themselves. Because if you really go all into all of the books and all of the everything, and so it is spiritual, it is in the natural. And so it is in the natural, it is in the spiritual. So everything we live through in this world is in the spiritual. And Cat Williams, let me tell you, Cat Williams said it best one time. He did an interview and somebody asked him if he believed in God. And Cat Williams gave him a face. But only Cat Williams, okay, a well-versed pimp, okay, he gave him a face in pimpology, like, bitch, where my money, okay?
Right.
And he looked and he said, I just said I believe in God.
Yeah.
So why are you asking me about ghosts or anything else? That's supernatural. You cannot believe in God and believe in the Holy Spirit, who is a spirit. It is supernatural.
In the name.
Oh,
so if you believe in God,
I can't.
Hello.
I can't. I don't understand.
How are you not going to believe?
Now this is coming
I don't
in.
get it.
We're live
I
on.
don't understand it.
We live on what? Five different pages, and this woman is a Christian, and
Also
if she can get it, like I don't understand what is so hard about it.
Saying. But listen, I even go further. I believe in the multiverse. I believe in reincarnation. I have reincarnation experiences before I ever learned about the Lord. And the only reason that I gravitated to Christianity is that when I was in my lowest point in my life and I cried out for help, I believed it was Jesus and the Holy Spirit, because that's who I called out for in that moment. Now, had my grandmother been a Muslim, I may have cried out to Allah. But my grandmother was a Christian, and so she did give us seeds of Christianity, and I believed what I heard. I knew it in my heart to be true. So when I called out to the Holy Spirit came for me. Okay. And that's what made me a Christian. But then I wanted to get further because of my life experiences. All right. I also have UFO encounters. Which I can,
That's
I
Austin's
was
favorite
having
subject.
difficulty
He loves
last week.
cryptics. He loves aliens, Bigfoots.
Even though I'm like calling
Let
out of
me
it,
tell you-
I'm more
let
in the
me tell
paranormal
you.
now. But
Yeah.
When I was 7 years old, I saw my first UFO in Clareton, Pennsylvania. Clareton is a little spot. All right, it's like 20 minutes from Pittsburgh, 20 minutes, 25 minutes from Ohio. Okay. And it was a big hub of activity. And one summer's night, 2:00 in the morning, my big brother woke me up. Nobody else was waking up. Everybody was like in sleep paralysis. And he literally shook me, opened my eyes, and he took both of his hands on either side of my head, lifted my face toward the window and said, "Look." Okay. And I've been aware ever since. And I can look at the skies. I can tell you when they're powwowing because they powwow. They have meetings. I see them all the time. And I teach babies. Like I'm an after school director, program manager by trade, one of many of things. And I teach all of my babies, listen, if you see something and you know it's real, you don't let nobody tell you otherwise.
Hello.
Learn it for yourself. Hello. Okay. And now they can learn anything now.
Right.
All right. And then you learn when you're young, you learn not to tell it to other people or grown-ups because either they don't believe you for whatever reason or they get scared. Some of them believe you and then they're scared and that's the worst.
Right.
You might get a whooping if they're scared. You know, like stop talking that stuff. Okay. But yeah, I have plenty stories from all of that. But I just was like, look, this thing with this church, I don't know. I don't know about that.
No, I don't blame you. And and we do have to move on because we have another caller, but I don't blame you at all, sis. I wouldn't be catching no Holy Ghost in no retired.
For real.
Hell no.
next thing you know, they're going to be selling raccoon ankles that are disguised
uh-uh,
as chicken
hell
nuggets.
no.
And
You gotta think about how she's
I'll
thinking
say
about
this
it though.
one thing and then I'm gonna hang up because I hate
You're
to
opening yourself up.
and be like,
Yeah,
okay.
And this is a place where spirits were housed.
Right. Where the dead was
Yes.
housed.
How could you open yourself up?
Right.
yeah, no, yeah. It's like the conversation of like turning on your paranormal equipment at your house and allowing that energy in. But if you're letting your spirit free,
It's like us going on a ghost hunt but not covering our heads.
right? Or saging afterwards,
Right.
or
Exactly.
coming in with telling,
Exactly.
being very vocal
we
with your
wouldn't
staying
do that
here.
to ourselves.
But definitely make sure you tap in with us next week.
Yes.
You,
we're
give
here
us some of
every
those
Tuesday.
Definitely will.
stories. We need some of those UFO stories so we can tickle Austin's little fancy.
Not the little
Oh, I
fancy.
got a little bit about all of it. I fucked around and found out with the
Listen,
Ouija
it's
board
all
when I
right.
was young.
We all do at some point or another.
In
So
fact, we all done had that.
yeah.
Mhm. But y'all enjoy your holiday. Happy
You
Thanksgiving.
as well.
Talk to you
Thank you
next
so
week.
much.
All right, have a good holiday.
Thanks, y'all. Oh, and yes. All right, later.
Thank you. Oh, that was amazing. Just it's refreshing to see because everybody knows that watches me on YouTube.
You have somebody on your TikTok that says you can't be a Christian and not believe in witchcraft, ghosts, and the like.
Hello, necromancy. I mean, they are literally praising and paying homage and feeding into a spirit like Jesus. I don't think they realize he was a man.
Well, have you seen the one? And not to get super political, but there was a conversation. There was the people go to like the Trump rallies and they were like, "How do you feel about this? You know, Jesus was an immigrant." And they're like, "If he would you let him in if he was legal?" It's like if Jesus Christ
my
was
gosh,
legal, he would be allowed into
yeah.
the country.
And it's
also-
so annoying. And like she said, it's bad apples in every single religion. Do not sit up here and think even in African spirituality, African traditional religions, we don't have our own toxic bullshit that goes on.
We didn't ran into our fair share of bullshit.
Yeah, like please don't. And I feel like I've literally been victimized by. What happened?
Ooh, internal temp too high. This is why I turned the AC on.
Please, because it's hot. I was gonna ask you.
That's
you
right
know,
here, George.
I didn't turn on a turtle.
This
I
is
didn't
what it's like
wear a
living in the desert, guys.
Turtleneck. And
crazy.
baby, I'm over here. I feel like I'm going through menopause.
Real quick before we, because I know we troubleshooting
Yeah.
and doing all that stuff, but I just wanted to say something.
Y'all just hold on. My TikTok people, I don't know if y'all can still see me.
No,
Can they hear me?
The camera turned off. They can
Yeah,
hear
they
us.
can hear us.
Y'all can hear me? Okay, just hold on, y'all.
So
We're trying to get it together.
while he's troubleshooting, I just wanted to say one thing about the whole Christianity take, right?
Yeah.
Because like I grew up a Christian, like was born and raised, you know, baptized when I was like 12 before I even knew what decisions I was making, you know, type situation. And in my personal opinion, I feel like
Hi, y'all. We back.
we're back, y'all. I
Sorry.
feel like when it comes to Christianity, there's a lot of misconceptions, right? There's a lot of things that I don't even know the word to put behind it, but there's a lot of things that aren't right when it comes to it, right? Like
Right.
now Christianity is more like a show. You
It's
know
a
what I mean?
business.
It's a mega business. You're
Have
putting
you not
Starbucks
seen the
inside
memes?
churches.
Have you seen the memes where it's like God was humble and then it shows the pastor like on like a wire flying through like the
Come
audience?
on, man. Yes.
listen,
that shit
no.
is insane. Like,
I went to a church in Phoenix, and it was like a sub church of a main church, right?
Right.
And the visionary, which was like, I guess the head of all the churches, came to our little small church, you know.
Right.
He's in a Rolls Royce with a driver.
oh, I would have.
He's in a Rolls Royce with a driver, and they're like, "Oh, we need a building fund, a church fund,
Let me
a
guess.
I saw-
donation
That
fund."
I've
collection
always
played
seen-
around 10
yeah.
times to get it, huh?
I've seen comments where they were like, "Pastor, can you bless us?" No, I can't. And then they get into their Bentley and they're like, "Bro, what?"
No, seriously. And for me, it was different because I grew up in a small church. My pastor drove a Dodge Stratus.
Yeah, the church I went to, my pastor drove the Dodge minivan
Yeah, like
that was like beaten up, and like
No,
I remember,
facts.
and like this guy was good. I think the reason why I stopped going just because like it wasn't making sense for me, but like him as a person was very like I remember for the youth group we decided to like I don't remember if we like fixed up his car, but like I remember we like changed his oil, we like cleaned his car because we were like this guy like he took like a pay cut one year and was like I think it was like we were giving back to another family.
Right.
And he was like, well, take it from me. Like I'm the beacon of the community.
No, that's
and I was
dope.
like, I
That's
can get
dope.
behind that.
That's
Right.
honorable, but
Yeah.
That's honorable,
you
but
still start asking
nowadays-
questions though whenever you're in those situations
Mm-hmm.
because like I used to ask questions like that too. Like I remember one of the main questions I asked whenever I was younger. Like right after I got baptized, I was like, "There's so many religions in the world. Like, how do I know that this religion is the right religion?"
Right.
And, you know, I asked the pastor that, and he couldn't answer me. And it's like, you can't answer what religion is the right religion because there is no right religion.
It's what's right
It's
for
whatever
you.
resonates with you.
Right. Because I
know?
think religion shouldn't be how many followers does your church have or how grand is your church. It should be what kind of relationship do you think you have with whatever
No, facts.
you feel spiritually. Because some people, it might not be God. It might be, you know, it might literally just be like, for me, it's like being connected to like where we're at right now,
Yeah.
being grounded.
Yeah.
What relationship do you have with that?
And that's why I'm
Not, it
just
shouldn't be
like-
based on like how edgy is this or how cool
like,
is this.
And that's what I be telling, like, even, and this is for my TikTok family oh, my bad. This is for my, hey, y'all. No, I look like I was about to serenade y'all. No, but this is what I be telling to my TikTok family all the time. Like, be careful because spirituality, even Christian, and when I say spirituality, I mean Christianity and what could be considered unorthodox spiritual. Me, y'all. That is very niche. We have a lot of people who had never stepped into a church until the pandemic or never
Yep.
picked up an herb until the pandemic. And I go on these lives and I be listening to them. I be like,
There's a lot of folks that don't really be knowing.
Don't
It's
know
a lot of
it.
false prophets when
Yes.
it comes to every religion.
oh
for
my
me.
Yeah,
gosh. And
everything.
It's
There's false people.
unfortunate.
And now that we have the social media, it's even
It's
easier to be
easier
a
to
false prophet because
misinform.
anybody could just pick up their phone and start spewing out BS.
Right.
And
And
that's the wave.
we have another call, and I'm gonna get this caller in the room.
You guys think I actually do the ghost hunt? No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, but I just wanted to say, like, it's a lot of things that you guys just need to be careful because this is a business to spiritualists, high-ranking members of African traditional religions, and Christianity. It's always a business in some way, shape, or form. You have to think about it like that because initiations are free. Going to your church isn't even free if you're really a member of it. And you just got to be careful. You know, if I ever go back to a church, I'm going to tithe, but I'm going to bring a goat. and some bread and some fruit. And I'm going to follow the Bible way of tithing because what are we really talking about? But it just, it gives me the ick.
I'll take money.
She wants to pull up to
Please pay a bill.
Damn.
No, I mean,
When
if
you
you
get
go
over,
back,
can you imagine though the pastor just like, God damn it,
right?
she
got
found
me.
the she found
She
the
got me.
loophole.
She actually read the Bible. God damn it!
It actually says in Philippians, or what is it,
Philippians. Yeah.
Yeah, right
Philippians.
there. It says right there that if you show up at least 3 Sundays in a row, you do get a free voucher for Chuck E.
Hello?
Cheese.
Because what are we talking about? It was never
just has a
cash money
stack
for
of
the
them.
99 and the 2000s. I'm bringing a goat. I may bring some bread wrapped in a cheesecloth.
Y'all gonna
you
get us
know?
kicked off of YT. We are getting kicked.
No, but in all
there's gonna be so
seriousness-
many Christians that are throwing their Bibles at us.
Hey, you know what? And let them, because at the end of the day, a lot of spiritualists know their book. They know the Bible better than Christians.
But not us, the Chuck E. Cheese coupons.
You go at his desk and he has just a stack of them, and you're like, well,
I'm trying.
I mean,
I'm trying to go to Chuck E. Cheese though.
I'm just wondering what book is gonna get me into heaven, because it gets so ridiculous.
I Can Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi.
I mean, I don't
Rich
know.
Dad, Poor Dad. Probably
Which
will be
have a
book
from
signed
in
that.
the
copy of
Bible
that
is
one.
it, y'all? That's gonna
You got a signed
condemn me
copy?
to
Yeah,
hell?
he was at Sticky Paws. You were there for that, right, George?
Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kia. So I'm sitting in the lobby because I'm just chilling, and he walks by, they're leaving, and he was like, "Did I sign your book?" And I was like, "No, it's okay though." And he was like, "Do you want one?" I was like, I did not give a fuck. Like I was like, "Cool,
Yeah.
sure, yeah." And I think that like put him onto it more. And like they're like, "No, we got to go." He was like, "See, I'm looking out for you."
Right.
The small man, and I was like, "Oh, that's what you see us as." Is like I just put the studio together.
Right.
See, I have a signed copy. He was like, "What's your name?"
I built this whole bitch, but
Right.
excuse me.
This signed
Yeah.
copy of my book is going to be worth the copy of my book.
Hey, I might be able to sell it. There's some fanboys. I might be able to be like
Listen.
$300
No,
signed.
you may lose 50 cents off of retail.
If that's the case,
Oh, and
I'll take
just for
7.
the people that are just not coming in, I don't know how many people are over on TikTok. I can't see.
On TikTok for you right now, there's 20.
Okay. Is it 20?
Yeah, 20.
Okay.
Then they left us already, huh?
Yeah, so for the people that are just coming in, because I know there's some people on my actual YouTube chat that are like, how do you call in? The number down below. Now, I feel like, okay, I called in while I was gone one time, and I felt like I was losing brain cells because I'm just a senior
No,
citizen.
you might have to screenshot that because listen, you got to dial a number and then dial a number. And
Yes,
then you may have
yes.
to dial another number.
I said, oh my God, people have time to troll us on YouTube whenever we're on live, because that was a lot.
I can introduce you to one of those types of people. His name is Trey, and you'd be
was a
surprised
lot.
at how wizard. You think I'm a wizard on the computer? This kid could probably find
No,
your IP
you're-
address in like 2 seconds.
Listen, Pear, don't even worry about it, because at the end of the day, it was not showing whenever you asked about it, and I had to look at. We have like a million screens in front of us. I had to look at George's screen to see if it was there, because it wasn't.
I can see the
showing
Dow is down 15 points right now.
Like, I mean,
buy, sell,
we're
sell.
running a stock market at this point, so I had to look. So it wasn't on the screen whenever you asked, so don't even worry about it. But if you are new here, this is a live call-in show. We want to hear your scary stories. We only have about 45 minutes left with you guys, so please dial the number down below and make sure you